Hey everybody, it's your boy Martin V. Burrows Jr., coordinator of the Oceana Sport Information Center here at the University of South Pacific. So today I got a special guest, Sam Yavala, and he has been had a tremendous impact on sports, still does. He's athlete, sports educator, coach, and so thank you very much, Sam, for coming here today.
Thank you.
And starting first, where did you grow up?
I grew up here in Sula, the village nearby at Tamabua.
Okay,
Yeah, I was born and raised in that village, and I went to school in Nabua before AKS, Ratukandabulebu School.
okay. And after that, where did you go to school?
I worked for a little while before I was given a scholarship for Eastern New Mexico
Okay.
University.
And what did you study at Eastern New Mexico University?
I studied sports science.
Okay. Uh, you did a bachelor's. Did you also do a master's as well?
Yes,
Okay. And after you finished your schooling, you went back to Fiji?
I came straight back, even though I was given a scholarship to stay back and do my doctorate degree, but it came too late. Because I had already had my ticket to come back home. I actually, if it came earlier, I would have stayed back.
Okay. So, did you have a specialization in sports science?
I I started off as a general, then my inclination went forth into especially the applied physiology. I love that field, applied physiology, and I tried to put everything in study into the acting, the actual work of the physiology on the athlete.
Okay. So, for all who might not understand, what is applied physiology?
Practical application of the study of the physiology. Physiology is the study of the function, how that
Okay.
function applied to a sports on the field.
Okay. So, when you came back, what did you do? Did you enter the school system?
Yes, I entered the school system. I started off with a Lotoka Teachers College. Now
Okay.
I've become part of the university. I spent 5 years in there before they transferred me to Suva, to Nasino Teachers College. I spent only a year in that when they closed it. That was during the politics of 1982. They closed the place.
Okay.
I had to be transferred to the Ministry of Youth and Sports before Sports Council.
And what did you do for the Ministry of Youth and Sports?
I was a sports officer.
Okay. Uh, so, advancing along, you were quite an accomplished runner. And how did you transfer from running into coaching?
While I was at university, I was doing coaching as well. When I was in, I was also doing coaching, assisting the coach.
Okay.
So from there, I developed that. Even before I went,
Okay.
I started developing the interest in doing that. While I teaching in New Zealand, I was doing the same thing, trying to analyze the movement of the people running, and then we came back and discussed that with my coach in New Zealand.
How long were you a coach for with athletics?
Oh, since what? Well, while coming back,
Yeah, while coming back.
was coaching from 1977, 78 to about 1998, I think. Yes. Before leaving that, I then the rugby people requested me to come in assistant.
Okay, can you share a little bit of what you did for rugby?
They asked me to assist whether I could assist them on the World Cup, 1997 World Cup. I said yes. What would you like me to do? They wanted this. I asked them, what do you want me to do? They said, we want a Fijian style of rugby.
Okay.
Okay.
And you were a trainer.
An advisor. I was a consultant, general consultant.
Okay.
I do psychology, I do food. I also advise the coach, sort of all mixed up in that because I realized they needed that at that point in time. There
Okay.
were no specialists in here at that point in time.
Okay.
So I had to do all those.
So how long did you work with rugby?
I have been working with rugby all along, but that team, it took about 18 months to train for the World Cup. What I did was analyze the field, the world field. I realized we were not so rich enough to to be in competition with all those people, New Zealand, Australia, and all those people who's got more money for their program. We had nothing at that point in time, so I had to improvise the program
Okay.
so that we can reach the point where most of them have reached, and we're glad we did.
Okay. Uh, as you might know, the Pacific Games is coming up this July. Do you have any suggestions for coaches and athletes in preparation for those games?
At this point in time, I never see those athletes that are in there coming back and ask for questions, ask for assistance from the old hands. What they're forgetting that sports, any sports you go to, the principle stays on. You cannot
Okay.
change the principle overnight. So therefore, any old person who's already gone through the field is adapted with the principle. Changes, languages may change, like periodization. I first learned about periodization when I was in Taiwan in 2000, year 2003.
Okay.
First time I heard, it surprised me because I never heard it at school when I went to. But when studying through periodization, I realized it's still proper planning.
Yeah.
I said, what? It's proper planning. You can change the words, but the principle stays.
Hmm.
The trouble with most coaches coming in here, not asking for old hands, because they thought those changes. You never change the principle. You change the words, but the principle never changes.
And briefly before closing, you've worked in Taiwan. How many years have you worked in Taiwan?
I worked in Taiwan for 6 years,
Okay.
on and off. I used to start in February, spend my Christmas, because in Taiwan, you're lonely when it comes to Christmas. They all went home, and I had to stay back.
Hmm.
I said, I cannot face it. I have a family. Can you let me go home? They changed my contract, allow me to come back at home.
And what sports did you help train in?
I trained all sports.
Okay.
They wanted me to do physical fitness,
Okay.
but when I came in there, I saw a lot of loopholes.
Okay.
So I just made the point of becoming a coach in here, teach the coach, teach the athletes, go to lecture, do all those to try to change the habits of the way they're doing.
Okay. So you helped out in karate.
I helped out in karate, I helped out in taekwondo, I helped out in swimming, I helped out in all sports that they wanted me to do.
Okay.
Because I first thing I told them, you have to lay this base. You guys don't have a base. You trying to win by performing elite, but there is lack of base in here. We got to go back to that point, including rugby,
Okay.
including soccer,
Hmm.
all the sports that they brought. Because I realized physical fitness is the base.
Yes.
Unless you have that, all they crump. I
Okay.
still remember my swimmer. He, the coach, right, was in the middle of the island of Taiwan, Changhua, the name of the city. When I came there to visit, this coach asked me, "Can you assist?" Why? Okay, there were two main swimmers in one of them in Taiwan. One of them was asked to come to the Australian Institute of Sports.
Okay.
So this coach asked me if I could train the girl that was staying back. I said, good. But would you agree that I changed the pattern of his training? I said, yeah. I changed. Then I changed the pattern. Almost the same as the rugby, the seven rugby.
Okay.
I came back. I said, I want to know the result when I come back again. I said, sure. When I came back, the first place to visit was Changhua. You know what he mentioned to me? What was the result? He just mentioned, it's a little embarrassing in terms of swimming.
Hmm.
From that was, I said, what do you mean? From that one, I realized very embarrassing it could have been a distance. That was not. From then, I realized these people, if they go overseas, they don't meet the standard overseas, nobody cares about them.